Oh, hello. Oh yeah, just caught me reading my paper there. Hello, I hope you're all doing well and all staying safe in these weird days. While I had a little bit of time the other day, I thought I'd have a look through some photographs of Mint Theatre Society's productions over the last 3.5 years since we've been going. And this time 2 years ago, we'd just gone into rehearsals for Three Men in a Boat, which I directed, and which was a lovely, lovely play to do. And the keen-eyed amongst yourselves who came to see it might recognise some of the props that I've got set up for my riverside picnic today. Jerome K. Jerome was actually a local lad. He was born in Carner in Walsall, could you believe, and moved down to London with his family, and he had quite a series of jobs before he became a writer, which was his ambition. He worked for the railways, he had to pick coal that had fallen off the trains between the tracks, he worked as a teacher, he even had a go at acting under the name Harold Crichton, I think he was, before he finally settled upon his profession as a writer and became successful. He spent his honeymoon on the Thames. In the 1880s, there was a lack of commercial traffic on the Thames. It had all but stopped, and the new craze was to go on boat trips along the Thames, and he did that with his new wife. And when he came back, he started to write Three Men in a Boat, which was supposed to be a really serious travel guide. He couldn't help but put humorous bits in, and that's how it became the novel that we all know and love today. His companions on the trip in the book were George and Harris. George was actually his real life friend, George Wingrove, who became a clerk at Barclays Bank, and Harris's name was Carl Hempshall, and he set up a successful London printing industry. RJ was played by Ellie Ball, Harris was played by Ian Toulouse, and George was played by Alex Howell. And a fantastic job they did of it too. It's very hard work, but they made a really, really good job of it. There have been quite a lot of versions of Three Men in a Boat. We saw it on stage with Rodney Bewes. We saw Three Women in a Boat at the Edinburgh Fringe, which was definitely different and very, very funny. But apparently the very first film version was in the 1920s, and it was a silent film. And also, I don't know if anybody can get a hold of this. If anybody can, please let me know. There was a Russian musical version done in the 1970s, so I'm assuming that would be really something else. You can actually follow the trip that Jay, Harris and George, not to mention Montmorency the dog, did from Kingston upon Thames to Oxford, and a lot of the pubs and inns that are mentioned are still open today. So, if you fancy recreating the trip, you can actually still do that. You can take your things with you and maybe make a nice Irish stew. Or have a nice cup of tea. Or, of course, a picnic. And, of course, you could take your dog. The other character that appeared in the book was Montmorency, Jay's dog. He was actually a fictional character and didn't really exist, but he adds an extra dimension, I think you'll find, to the play version. And we certainly had him in as. As you can see, he's an energetic little thing that wants to go off and do his own thing. So I think I'd better take him for his walk now. Okay, stay safe, take care, bye.